Hey, rock stars. It is mid-August. A couple of highlights I want to make sure we check on the beginning of this sizzle is we need to make sure, this is really important, if you're building this business, we need to make sure we're going back in and checking our numbers to make sure they're where they need to be before commissions run. So just go back in, check your last rank, see where you're at, make sure that you're where you need to be. Because sometimes what will happen is somebody will return something and that will mess up your commission run, okay? So I don't want anybody to missing out on any type of unilevel or compensation because of that return. So as long as you're checking numbers on time, we can fix it. So just always make sure you're checking your rank and where you're at. Always check that at the beginning of the month, the end of the month, the middle of the month. We just need to know where we're at, right? This is your business. You're in control. Make sure you're working it your way. The next thing I wanted to point out, and Lateran actually posted it today, is that the Hawaii trip has been extended. So if that's something that you're working towards, make sure you check that out and make sure you're getting qualified. The next item of business is the Silver Club. So we talked about Silver Club a couple weeks ago on the call, and then doTERRA released some information about it this week, which Romy posted yesterday in Rockstars. So if you want more information on what Silver Club is, they're just starting to release some of that information to us now. So make sure you're checking it out so you can jump on board and participate. If you have not ran your 125 LRP yet, I highly recommend doing it tonight or tomorrow because that laurel leaf is like heaven. Like, I'm a eucalyptus lover, but this, we need to get more of this. So it's totally worth jumping in, moving your LRP up, and just making sure you always process your LRP before the 15th, right? That's just a standard practice. I hope that everyone's teaching that, because if we can do a little better and get something for free, we don't want people to miss out. So make sure you're sharing that opportunity with everyone that you come in contact with. We did have a couple LTOs, right? Like the diffuser and the Harvest Spice. Harvest Spice, that's what it's called, right? I think so. Make sure when you order a LTO, a limited time offer, that you're going back and changing your LRP. Because what will happen is you'll process your order, that will fall off, your PV will fall below 100 PV. So when doTERRA runs commissions for a fast start, you might not get it because your LRP is not at 100. So make sure you're always checking that as well. Okay, I think that was all my housekeeping announcements. Let's jump into tonight's call and then we'll open it up. So there's been a lot of conversation on these calls lately about contacts, about follow-up, about how we continue to work with people. And so tonight what I really wanted to focus on is how do we continue to build our list, right? How do we get people in and build interest and build off of that? And once you have somebody on a list, what do you do with them, right? I mean, I think a lot of us will gather a name, a contact, an email, and if they're not ready right away, we kind of forget, honestly, right? And so who knows who the next person contacts them and what that looks like. I listened to another call today, and they said statistically, in the advertising business, people need to hear about a product 21 times. And in this business, we talk about 8 touches, right? Like it takes 7 or 8 touches to get someone enrolled. Now that's true, it probably does. But how often are they hearing it? How often is it being shown to them? How often are they coming in contact with it? You see what I mean? So I think we can all up our game on that forefront to make sure that we're presenting the opportunity enough. It seems to me, as you take a look back and look into the doTERRA leadership as a whole, people who share the business opportunity have a thriving business. I think that's fair to say. I think it's also fair to say people who educate people on doTERRA products have a thriving business. So you have to fall in one of the 2 categories. If you want to grow as a leader, you have to either be teaching people about the doTERRA opportunity or the doTERRA product. And I think one thing that we're learning, especially on an international level, is you don't always have to share from the product. We're on the Truman team. That's something that's in our blood, right? But really teaching people about the business opportunity is just as profitable as teaching from the product perspective, right? Sometimes we try so hard to help people fall in love with these oils, but you know what? Sometimes they don't need the oils as much as they need the income. It doesn't devalue our product to make a profit off of it. So make sure that you're giving everyone their options and make sure you're comfortable pitching the business. That's something that should be happening at every single class you teach. There should be a nugget, a plug-in, a whatever, a 5-minute spiel, 15 at the end, whatever that looks like. We need to be always talking about the business opportunity. So one thing I want to point out to you guys tonight is something that I go to quite frequently, and I'm going to just stick it in the chat here. Actually, I'm just going to share my screen too. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so this is, I'm going to make it bigger. So what we're looking at is the Empowered Success Tool Library. They continue to add to this. And you guys, it's so good. If you're looking for worksheet type things or PDFs or tips or tools to help you, come here to this link. Like save it in your notes right now or somewhere you can come back to it. I'll post it in the call recordings as well. Look how many tools that we have here. And they're amazing. The Power of 3, how to do your rank planner, like even to plan out your year. One of my favorite ones this year has been, I'm going to find it and show it to you, Annual Strategic Plan. Okay, when you open this up, they go through the whole year, what we're focusing on, what the campaigns are, the different events. So when you have your personal calendar, just focus on what doTERRA is focusing on. Do you know what I mean? There's no need to come up with all this extra stuff. We used to do that, right? And come up with our own ideas, and we don't have to do that anymore. All we have to do is plug people into the material doTERRA is providing us. So they broke this year down into, you know, the different pyramid and different sections. And do you see like possible themes? Like they just gave ideas for us. So look at this. I'm going to pull up where we are now. So I mean, they have on here, look, July, BOGOs. Like, you know how we're always like, well, what's going on? Now they say possible, but still, there's a lot of things going on here that we can use to build off of. So we're not always like, oh, I wonder what's coming up. We know what's coming up. Okay, I'm going to go back here. So come here and use this tool. And so the tool that we're going to use tonight that I want to make sure everyone knows how to find is called the Success Tracker. Right here, Success Tracker. So I already have it open in another window. But this is what it looks like, okay? And so basically it's for 25 prospects. Gives you the whole list. And here's your goals for each prospect. You're going to contact them. You're going to share and invite with them. You're going to present to them. You're going to enroll them with the lifestyle overview, the business overview, and the hosting overview with their launch. This is the bread and butter of our business. This is what's going to make you successful. And so I'm going to challenge you guys, anyone who's on this call and anyone who listens to the recording, to take this week and print this out and fill it out. And then I want you to really fill it out and make a plan. And then anyone who sends me their success tracker is going to get a prize from Romy and Mark. Because this is the key to your business, right? So you put their name. So Kenzie Bauer, the note, you can say maybe where you met me, maybe, I mean, whatever fits, like 2 kids, 2 dogs, primary worker, whatever that flows. And then you go through each step. Because when it's time for you, whether you do this business part-time or full-time or whatever, when it's time to work this business, you got to have something to work, right? Staring at your phone, getting in your back office, all these things are great, but they don't count towards progress. If you will streamline the time that you use in your business, you'll be able to advance that much further. So plug your people into this list. And so that way you know where you're at and what you need to do with them. So do you see up here, I really like that doTERRA put this goal on here. So the goal is to share and invite with 45 people, to present to 30 people, to enroll 15 obviously lifestyle overviews, 3 business overviews, and look, 1 launched builder. So doTERRA themselves is telling us 1 out of 45 is going to launch, right? That's the goal. Sometimes we just keep spinning trying to make that happen. So just decide what that's going to be and then go to work. So, okay, 45 plus. Who do you know? So where do you find these contacts, right? Go to your phone, go to your Facebook, go to your church, go to your circle, go to your, I gotta let my dogs out, one sec. Go to your place of work, go to your kid's school, join a co-op, join a whatever, but we have to always be adding people to this list. And now I would tell you in the notes to write their email, their phone number down, because this is the list that you come to when you have new ideas, when you want to send out an email, when you want to send out a specific promotion, when you want to see, I know I've met so many people, but I don't know who I need to follow up with next. Like, it's all right here on one sheet. If you had a name of 25 people, it'd be a lot easier for you to work these people through the list, right? Anybody on this call, are you using this? Have you seen this? Is this new information? Okay, so you'll find this, like I said, on the Empowered Success Tools. And so come here and check in. The other one that's good is the Success Check-in. Check that out. If you haven't gone through the new sales guide yet, I played around with that quite a bit today. It's incredible. Make sure you're utilizing this, because, I mean, I've been on this site probably 15 times in the last 30 days, and each time there's been something new added. So get on here and really look at these tools so you know what to do to find success and be successful. I love that Iris is holding hers up. We need follow-up categories too. Exactly. So let's talk about that. You get somebody on your list, and it seems, I'm going to turn this off. So it seems like that's what happens. We bring people on our list, and then we enroll them, or we do nothing. I see this happen all the time. So what's the proper next step? What does that mean? If we're going to follow up 7, 8 times, what's your next step? What does that need to be? Is it a phone call or an email? Sometimes I've asked people, like, well, did you follow up with them? And their idea of follow-up is calling them 3 days later and asking them to enroll. That's not a follow-up. Like, it can be, right? But a true follow-up just means you're checking in, you're touching base, and not on a, hey, I'm trying to sell you something standpoint, but on a, hey, this is a new relationship for us. You're going to learn about them. They're going to learn about you, whatever that might be. Maybe their kid, maybe they told you a story about their kid. Nothing makes me feel better than when someone calls me to follow up with something, and they can say something like, hey, I was just wondering how X worked for you, because I know River was having a really hard time falling asleep. Just the fact that they use my kid's name again really means a lot to me. So in those notes, what's their story? Why do you need to help them? Why do they want help? Because people, this is the truth, people are not going to buy until they have an emotional reason to purchase. That's just the truth. Until they have an emotional reason to purchase. So part of your philosophy, in my opinion, should be finding out what that emotion is, right? Are they sad? Are they depressed? Do they have a need? Is something going on in their lives? Are they stressed? We all know that emotion, that's just a selling altogether. We all know that emotions, we all make emotional decisions every day, right? Think about like your purchases and when you do things. If you're buying something new, think of it this way. If somebody presents you with an opportunity, like doTERRA, not doTERRA, but I'm saying someone presents you with $100+ opportunity, an investment, a kit, a product, whatever. What's your response? When do you purchase that? How does that person follow up with you? What did you like about their follow-up? What didn't you like about their follow-up? Like sometimes, guys, I sign up for things just so I can see how people follow up. Like, let's just test out their campaigns and do it with really large companies. Like, for example, if you want to buy a new car, maybe you don't even want to buy a new car, but you get on, you find a fancy schmancy car online, and you put in your information saying, I want more information. What do they send you? What are their keywords? Do they call you? What do they say? You know what I mean? Like, these are people that have been trained and have a lot of schooling because of their profession, right? And so as an MLM, we have to either come into that with an education, or we have to learn how to do that, right? And I'm not saying that everyone is like a sale, you don't have to necessarily build this professional sales funnel. You just need a sales funnel that works for you. And at the end of the day, guys, we're empowering families to change their lives. And the way that we do that is by our prospects choosing a better way, choosing better health, choosing essential oils, choosing LLV, right? And then we help them with the lifestyle pyramid. Their life gets so much better. I mean, sometimes I just laugh. Like 10 years ago, y'all, I was buying the most toxic crap in the laundry aisle, right? I was buying the junkiest, cucumberiest, apple smelling lotion potions. I mean, it's just comical. Could you imagine if you had to go back and live one day in your past life pre-doTERRA? Like, disgusting, right? You would be so disgusted with yourself. You would, because when you start feeling better, you make better choices. Next thing you know, you're using these products and you're feeling good and you're making better food choices. Now you're moving your body, right? Next thing you know, you're on calls every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. talking about all things positive. Like, life continues to get better, but we have to tell people about this. We have to show them that opportunity. So back to the, how do we follow up with them? How do we let them see the big picture, right? Because sometimes we get stuck on that. We have to buy a kit, right? Like, if you want to come to the door, you got to have a kit. What if you gave them a preview of what that looked like? What if your second follow-up was the conversation of you pre-doTERRA? Like, hey, listen, I know that we've looked at this. I know you've looked at your options. Let me just tell you a quick story about what my life looked like pre-doTERRA and why this is so important to me that you have this option as well. I mean, people would just die to find out that that apple lotion is not apple. It's petroleum made in a lab synthetically to smell like an apple. I mean, guys, I had no idea. And when you know better, you choose better. So why do you choose doTERRA? I mean, write that down and make that part of your process. You have to help people along so they get to see, because you're just giving them one puzzle piece at a time, but you got the whole puzzle. So really let them know what it looks like and then help them get there. It's a lot easier for me to get my kid to do what he needs to do when he knows why he's doing it, right? When there's ice cream going on, right? Like if I said, hey, tonight after dinner, if A, B, C, and D get done, we're going out for ice cream. Well, guess what? A, B, C, and D is going to all get done. Now, if I didn't mention the ice cream, totally different scenario, right? Not saying you always have to go get your kid ice cream, but when you can incentivize, or when people can see, well, why am I doing this? And sometimes we don't tell them. You don't know what you don't know. So you got to know that these people that you're meeting, they don't know. You guys, they truly don't know that there's a better way, that there's a better option, that there's high hope for them, that there is healing, that there is this joyous feeling, that there is peace, that you can find balance. I mean, some people just think it is what it is. You just do the 9 to 5 and you live for Friday night and the world goes round, and one day, you know, we might figure it out and retire. God, we got to tell them. Back to my sales funnel pitch. So when do you tell them this? When do they know what the next step is? So you meet with someone, okay? You invite them to a class, they come, you present the enrollment opportunity, they don't enroll. What's your next move? You guys tell me, what do you do next? Somebody unmute, I want to hear from you.
I keep the connection going. I might say the next time I see him, hey, what's Jack doing today? I heard that he fell down the other day and he broke his leg. Now that's kind of far-fetched. You know, so how you doing? How's this person doing? What's going on?
So you connect with them. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Throw me out what you do. You have a class, you teach them.
Lifestyle overviews.
So if you don't enroll them in the class, what do you do next? You say, hey, I want to meet. Overviews. Will you meet with me? Okay. When do you set that up?
At the class.
Okay, so you say, hey, okay, you don't want to enroll tonight. Can we set up a time to do a lifestyle overview? Is that what you're saying?
No, I say, you don't want to enroll tonight. When can I come to your house, either Friday or Tuesday at this time, and have them pick their time?
Yep.
Don't give them a choice to back up.
I like that. I like that. Okay, what else do you do? Somebody else tell me, what do? You have a class, they come, you teach, you give them the opportunity to enroll, they choose not to. What's your next move? Gotta hold an awkward space, y'all.
Well, I know that I need to really do better at this. I'm just gonna be real and put it out there, because a lot of times they get lost in the cracks for me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really an area that I need to improve on. So help.
So you usually just don't enroll them and then think they're going to contact you when they're ready.
Well, I need to do, I need to create some kind of a drip campaign, or a way to continue to touch them, mm-hmm. and have some kind of a system, if you will, mm-hmm. so that they don't, fall out of my brain or fall off,
right,
kind of thing. Because I can think of people right now that the classes that I had during BOGO week, that there were a couple that didn't, enroll. So yes, I touched base with them a few days after, but now it's August, and life moves on, and they could be on to the next shiny thing, and I need a way to keep that connection going.
Yeah, and I think that
absolutely,
like you're saying, the connection going, but mm-hmm. the other piece of that is not being afraid to ask a very straightforward question, right? So after you talk to them a few times, I think it's very appropriate just to flat out ask them, hey, I just want you to know I'm going to continue to follow up with you about your interest in the essential oils. Is that okay? Can I keep following up with you? Because this matters to me. This is important to me. I want to help you. So I hear you when you say, we don't got it in the budget, or I got to choose to feed my kids this week, or whatever. But I'm going to keep following up with you, okay? Because I believe that this is really going to help you, and this is what we're doing. So I'm going to touch base with you again. Are you okay with that? Letting them know that's what you're contacting, because otherwise there's this huge elephant in the room, right? So it's like, hey, they knew you, they came to your class. They know they didn't buy anything from you. But the truth is, we don't know why. Maybe it's not because they weren't interested. Maybe they're in the middle of something else. Maybe $250 puts them in a weird financial place this week. Who knows what the reason is that they didn't purchase? Maybe they didn't have an emotional need that night. but you put it on the radar. They found out about these things, and now that life has happened, it's now on the radar as an option to help them. I think sometimes we're just afraid to ask those very straightforward questions. If someone tells you no, that's okay. Right? Like, you know what, Iris? I am not interested in your essential oils. Hey, you know what? Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate you letting me know that. But I want you to know that at some point, Iris, you're going to have an interest. You're going to need something, and I hope you're not afraid to call me. Day or night, if there's an emergency and you need some support, you know how to contact me. Right? Because they still know. I mean, I've had people call me in the middle of the night before and say, hey, we had this crisis. We can't get in to see anyone. Is there anything we can do? Yep, there is.
Mm-hmm. Today I watched a video by Roger Webb.
Uh-huh.
And he was talking about how he talks everybody into LRP. And he said that it's so important that they know you are their wellness advocate. You're the advocate for their wellness. That name isn't just a fancy thing we have. It really means something.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you go into their lifestyle overview, was what he was talking about. It's because you really want to help them, just like you said, Kenzie. And that kind of turned everything around for me. It's not that I want you to have those oils. Well, yes, I do. But it's that you are going to find a situation where you need these oils. And why don't we get started now so that you can get a few under your belt and know how important they are. You have to watch the video, and I'll find it.
Yeah, I love what you just said, Iris, because that's just so spot on. That's spot on. Like, that's what, as an advocate, as a wellness advocate, that's what we're here to do, is support and nurture these people and make sure they know how to use the oils. And that's what's so cool about doTERRA's platform altogether, right? I mean, like, look how many empowered women, I mean, there's empowered men too, but look how many empowered women there are that are staying home and working from home and being able to, do both, do babies, do life, do whatever. I mean, it's just fantastic.
And he worked that in to what he was talking about. And oh, gee, now I lost it. Sorry.
You're good.
It's completely gone. It's past my bedtime.
But he worked that into the conversation about how we're empowering women. And
it wasn't women so much, but I've forgotten.
Yeah. Okay, so follow up. Let's go back to that. We teach a class, they enroll. Now we think, okay, when should I contact someone after the class, right? How much time should go by? I think the sweet spot is different for everyone on this, but my answer is the next day. And you might have a different opinion on that, but if it's the next day, it just happened, it's fresh on their mind. Hey, it was so great to see you last night at the class. I just want to make sure I got all of your questions answered. And again, I just wanted to reiterate to you that whatever I offered the night before is only available until 6 p.m. tonight. Whenever I teach a class, there's always a free book involved, and the offer expires 24 hours later. Every time. Every time. Because you need the book. If you're going to get the oils, you need the book. People want urgency. They want something free. They want to feel a benefit. And the fact that you called to follow up with them, hey, did you get a chance to talk to your husband about these oils? Would you like me to help you talk to him? Husbands can be tricky sometimes, and a lot of times, all you have to do is tell that chica to stop hiding behind her spouse. Hey, listen, I'm not trying to get involved in your financial situation. And it sounds like to me that you're kind of using your husband as an excuse of a reason why you don't want to purchase. And if that's it, just let me know. Like, that's fine. Like, it's no harm, no foul on mine. So don't feel like, and ooh, that turns on that mama bear like, oh, no, you didn't, right? Like, oh, no, you did not just say that I'm not in charge of my own money. And more times out of not, you guys, that helps empower people to get out their credit card. I mean,
Seriously, have you really said that?
oh, yeah. Because I say that when I don't want to make a financial decision, I'll say, I got to go talk to my husband about it. It's an easy out, right? If there's hundreds of dollars involved, a lot of people will say, I got to go talk to my spouse. That's an appropriate thing to say. I let people say that. But the next day, you bet we're going to talk about that. Like, well, what'd he say? Do you know what I mean? Because most people are in a situation where they are in control of their own money. If they want to spend $200 on an essential oil kit, they can do that with permission, without permission, whatever that might be. We're here to empower women. I'm here to empower women. And for me and one of my girlfriends, for me to say that, no problem at all. Like, Chica, what's going on here? If you don't want to buy my oils, that's just fine. If you're not ready, just let me know. But you don't got to hide behind your husband and say, just let me know. It's okay. Like, we can be open about that. No harm, no foul. And sometimes it's, what, Ken? It's just not the day, right? Like, I'm just not there. And that's okay. But you know your people, you know your friends, you know your contacts, you've met these people, you know their situation. You have to help people see the bigger picture. So what picture are you painting? From straight out the gate, what's your goal? Do you teach them about the lifestyle pyramid? Do you teach them how 10 years ago you felt like this and now you feel like this? Do you teach them about the business opportunity and what it's done for you? It's got to be more about the $250 kit. Because the truth is, the kit's nice, right? That's only $40 in your pocket. Again, no harm, no foul. Go out for pizza, don't go out for pizza, whatever. But the bigger picture is we're trying to put someone on our 7th level to make the unilevel and the world go round, right? And they need to know the bigger picture is you're not doing this just today. You're actually going to turn around and do it again next month. And the next month, and the next month. And until you can paint the picture for people of why they should do that, they're not going to do it. You're going to be a mass enroller. You're going to get people here. They're going to fall off. They're not going to turn on their LRP because they don't know about the ice cream at the end of the night. You didn't tell them. So why should they be in a rush to get their chores done? You got to show them that bigger picture. Where are you taking them? What's their goal? And that's what, like I was saying with the Wellness Advocate tag, that's our goal. Like, we're here to help you reach your health goal. So what is that? Are you trying to find less stress? Are you trying to sleep better? Are you trying to eat right? Are you trying to empower your family? Are you working on addiction? What is it that we can help you with? Because we're solution providers, and that's what we're here to do. And it's not a commitment today. It's actually a commitment for life. When my mom told me, when she enrolled me, she said, hey, I got this opportunity. I really want you to do it with me. You guys, I drug my feet. I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like 22 years old. You know what I mean? I wasn't in a situation. I just had gotten married. And finally, my husband said, just give her $100. Just give it to her. Like, I'm so tired of her spiel. So I went over there. We were all proud. I said, all right, we're gonna get some oils or whatever. It was like $150 for the kit that's not even available now. And she goes, oh, no. It's actually $100 every month. Like, I'm not asking you just to buy a kit. I need you to give me $100 every month forever. Like, you have to learn how to use these products. Like, this is going to change your world. And my husband died. He's like, that would be our highest utility bill. Like, why in the world are we going to do this? But you know what? When she laid it out like that, well, why not? You're going to change your health. You're going to feel better. You're going to have financial compensation. Like, you guys, that's paid me back time and time again. And I'm not even a doTERRA builder. Like, I'll share with my friends. I'll share with people who ask me. But gosh, think about like 10 years, $100. doTERRA, my smallest doTERRA check that has ever lived has been like, once I hit like elite, has been like $350 a month. That's well over my $100 investment, right? So from a business standpoint, why would we not tell people this? What you're going to do is you're going to give me $100 forever. And then you're going to go out and you're going to find 3 people to give you $100 forever. And then once you have that done, we're going to go out and help those 3 people each find 3 people to give them $100 forever and change their life and have better health. The formula is simple. We complicate it. Don't overcomplicate this, because that's what's happening. When you break it down to just the simple, this is the formula of doTERRA success, that's what it looks like. Whew. Okay, I'm going to shut off the recording. We're going to chat about this a little bit on an open level, and then we'll go from there.